Okay, we just got out to the corral. I just wanted to show you what he's like now. This is the worst time to actually show these videos, in a way, because he's really starting to come around. Just takes him a few minutes to get used to me. But you know what? I want to show it right up front when I first get here, so as you can see how more tamer he is becoming. So I have my old rickety Mustang halter in my left hand here, and with a lead rope. We're just going to take a look at him, and because I won't try to point out little things that show he's getting tamer. Like, see how he's able to stand still? This is the first video that he's actually stood still and let me start to walk up to him. Remember how he's always walking back and forth and pacing and arching up and trotting up on me? Well, he's able to stand still today. I can see his breathing is getting a little faster. I can see the steam come out of his nose. He's starting to blow a little bit, which means there is fear there still. But he can tolerate me being this close without moving, which is really cool. I'm going to see if we can actually even touch him, because that's what you're looking for kind of at the end of the game, I think, is just to be able to walk up to your horse, slip a halter on him. Pat him a little bit, see if we can get that done here. If we can get that done, he's come quite a long ways, for sure. So I'm gonna do this exercise. I like to do this exercise all the time. It's like, I call it sewing their two brains together into one brain. We need our horse to move like one brain for us. So that way he can get tame. So you can do like this right here. This is the very first step I do. This right here. To help them realize and understand that they have two sides, but they're one being. They're one being with two sides. This one tiny little exercise is the beginning of a horse becoming tame and being able to be usable. We're helping them become ambidextrous. Some horses like him are really super not ambidextrous. Like his one side, his left side is really easy to approach, or much easier to approach than his right side. So his left side was his tame side, his right side is his wild side. And then I love to massage their faces, and they love it too, because a horse really don't have fingers and stuff. They have a hard time itching around their eyes, itching up in these little hollows up here on their head. They like to get that itch, especially now. It's been so warm, and he has been so starting to shed, and that's all for itchiness. There's no trees in the corral. This corral, most corrals. So they have a hard time finding a place to itch themselves. See how he's kind of enjoying it, actually? He's really kind of enjoying it. I love to do it this, because his head is his body is an extension of his head. So if I can get his face and his head completely desensitized, then the body's a lot easier. It just comes along naturally, more naturally. He's become quite nice in his face. He wasn't that wild in the face anyway. He's still super wild in the feet, though. His feet are like Mustang wild, for damn sure. So we're going to come around this side so you can see how he's not blocking me like he used to. I mean, a little bit. And I heard his breath pick up a little bit there. So he's a a little bit more afraid of me being around here. But see how I'm able to touch him. When I first came here, it was really difficult to touch on him at all. His body. His nose has always been fairly tame because he uses that as a block. So we're going to cruise over to this side. I'm stopping his head from blocking me, just having my hand here. I'm not pushing on him or anything. I'm just like loving on his face a little bit with my hand. So I'm stopped. See how he's still a little wild. Much better than before. He let me come up on him. So that's pretty awesome. He's a stud too. Studs are they just add this whole, it's a whole nother level of energy that you have to deal with. And it's super hard for him to tolerate. Mr. Family Protector. Super difficult for a wild stallion to become tame. I mean, you could probably tame 4 or 5 geldings in the same amount of time and energy you can tame one kind of stallion like this. But I am being able to touch him. I could do none of this when we first started. None of this at all. Oh my gosh, he was so touchy on the sides. But look at this. You can run down here. Right there is usually the touchiest spot. I figured it out. I got this idea that I think this stud got away from the BLM pen without being gelded because he was a baby when he was there. And then he probably has always been in a corral where his legs were not touched by bushes and shrubs and other things, which is I think why his feet are so unreal Mustang wild still, his legs and feet. So that was awesome. So today I bought this little flag stick. I'm going to touch him a lot with the little flag stick, and hopefully I can put another video up pretty soon. I think I have a helper who's going to show up and help me take a video. But I had a rope on him several days in a row on his back feet, and my golly, he's Mustang wild. He can kick like no one's business. So see how he's a lot better. My gosh. Yeah, on this side. This is his tame side anyway. So he's letting me advance up on his tame side here. Well, let's try. So when you're going to try to get to a horse who's blocking you, so you just use your hand as like a helper. You come up here and you start rubbing. So now you're stopping him from you're blocking him on this side. So now you work your way back. And that way you're not getting in a big fight with him or anything. You're just using your hand to block him. Block. Love. And then he'll move off. You block and you move back. And you do it. And you slowly will get to move farther and farther back as time goes by. But everything's inch by inch. These wild horses. And I've one thing I haven't told people is how dangerous it is. I mean, it can be super dangerous. I've got hurt several times learning this stuff. But anyway, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to try and get a helper and trying to show you how wild his feet really are. See ya. Bye.